Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best pop albums of the 90s. For this list, we're taking a trip back to the 1990s and looking at the greatest pop albums that not only had majorly awesome music, but also left their mark on the decade's pop culture. What album from the 90s do you still jam out to today? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Spice Girls. Tell us what you really, really want. You want one of the best pop albums of the 90s? You got it with Spice.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
The debut album by the now iconic Spice Girls was like a kick in the face to the music world. A kick with 8-inch platform boots. From Wannabe to To Become One, this album rejuvenated the girl group genre in a way that would reverberate across the industry for decades.
Tonight is the night when to become one.
With one catchy song after another, a girl power phenomenon was born. And it didn't end there. The girls continued to spice up our lives the following year with the release of their second album, Spice World. And to that we say, zigga zig ah. Number 9. Ray of Light, Madonna. Madonna has always been known as an artist willing and able to reinvent herself. And we're not just talking about affecting a pseudo-British accent.
There's nothing left to try.
While prior to 1998, one would not have associated Madonna with electronica and techno-pop sounds, that all changed with the release of Ray of Light, an album considered by many to be a masterpiece.
If I could live your heart.
With the help of Frozen and the titular Ray of Light, the album sold more than 16 million copies and earned Madonna 6 Grammy nominations, 4 wins, and a new generation of fans. Number 8. Tragic Kingdom, No Doubt. There's nothing tragic about this album, unless by tragic you mean great.
Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed and it's no big surprise.
While hardcore No Doubt fans had been following the band since their debut album in 1992, it was their third album, 1995's Tragic Kingdom, which catapulted them into the pop mainstream. The first single off the album, Just a Girl, was the band's breakthrough.
Oh, I'm just a girl. Lucky me. Sweet on down, there's no comparison.
Spiderwebs got even more people stuck on the band. But it was the third single, Don't Speak, that got everyone talking when it reached the coveted top spot on the Billboard Hot 100.
Knows what to say, so please stop explaining. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts.
Number 7. Millennium, Backstreet Boys. Released in 1999, Millennium by the Backstreet Boys helped send pop music into the next 1,000 years on a high note. Actually, more like on a 5-part harmony with some well-choreographed dance moves. It may not have been larger than life itself, but Millennium's sales numbers were certainly larger than most, selling 24 million copies globally and becoming certified platinum a whopping 13 times.
You can make it right, and that makes you larger than life.
The album also featured Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely and one of the band's most recognizable songs, I Want It That Way. The Backstreet Boys sure gave the people pop music the way they wanted it in 1999.
I want it that way.
Number 6. Baby One More Time, Britney Spears. Just a few months before the Backstreet Boys unleashed their decade-defining album on the pop world, a cute former member of the Mickey Mouse Club released Baby One More Time.
Baby, baby, how was I supposed to know that something wasn't right?
The song and the eponymous album made Britney Spears an instant pop music superstar. Besides just that one song, which Rolling Stone called the greatest debut single of all time, the album also gave us Sometimes, You Drive Me Crazy, and Born to Make You Happy.
I was born to make you happy.
Baby One More Time was Spears' first step towards her eventual coronation as the Princess of Pop.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Number 5. The Writings on the Wall, Destiny's Child. The first track following the intro is a song called So Good. And those are exactly the words we would use to describe this album.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing mighty fine. Last time I sing it, it's been a long time.
The Writings on the Wall was the second effort by Destiny's Child and the last with all 4 original members.
It's 11:30 and the club is jumping, jumping.
It's the record that launched the group into the world of pop music greatness, got fans jumpin', and meant the girls would never again have problems paying their bills. One thing is for sure, after the release of The Writings on the Wall, everyone was saying Destiny's Child's name.
Say my name, if it doesn't change. Oh,
Number 4, let's talk about love, Celine Dion. 1997 would have been a great year for Celine Dion if the only thing she had done was sing My Heart Will Go On.
every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you.
The song is one of the best-selling of all time and has become synonymous with Dion and her vocal prowess. However, that hit was only part of the amazing year she had in 97. The other part was her 5th English-language studio album, Let's Talk About Love, which sold over 31 million copies around the world.
For me the gift you give yourself.
Unbelievably enough, that was about 1 million fewer copies than her previous album, Falling Into You, sold the previous year. Talk about being the queen of all good hearts.
That's the heart does go on.
Number 3, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey. We had a vision of pop music we loved from the 90s, and it was Mariah Carey.
You did me kind, sweet destiny.
The high-note hitting diva released her self-titled debut album in 1990 and hit the Billboard high notes as well, with 4 of the album's 5 singles going to number 1, including Vision of Love and Someday. In total, Carey would put out 7 albums in the decade, and we just can't leave without talking about her 5th one, Daydream. Released in 1995, it featured the mega hits Fantasy and One Sweet Day, and also earned Carey 6 Grammy nominations, one of which was Album of the Year. Number 2, Come On Over, Shania Twain. With Grammy Awards, multiple number 1 hits, and over 40 million copies sold, Shania Twain's 1997 album Come On Over sure does impress as much.
I've known a few guys who thought they were pretty smart, but you've got being right down to an art.
And while Man, I Feel Like a Woman might not be able to get Sheldon Cooper to dance, most of us aren't quite as iron-willed whenever we hear it.
Oh, they're totally crazy. Forget I'm a lady. Men, shirt, short skirts.
The album was a musical revelation, taking Twain out of the confines of country music and setting her on the path to becoming the queen of country pop, a title that the unimaginable success of Come On Over no doubt had a lot to do with. We'd even go so far as to say that in the annals of great country pop albums, Come On Over is still the one.
Still the one I kissed goodnight.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. NSYNC. Who can forget the first time they heard JT and the Guys?
Tearing up my heart when I'm with you.
My Love Is Your Love, Whitney Houston. Houston's 4th album saw her mature as a singer and performer. Life Through a Lens, Robbie Williams. Yep, this is the one with angels on it.
I'm loving angels instead.
Fumbling Towards Ecstasy, Sarah McLachlan. A truly beautiful and emotional musical journey that stands the test of time.
Wipe away your tears. Just close your eyes, dear.
On the 6th, Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo sure had our love after this great debut album.
If you had my love and I gave you all much, would you comfort me? Tell me, baby.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Dangerous, Michael Jackson. With 1982's Thriller, Michael Jackson had what could be argued as the best pop album of the 1980s. And with the release of Dangerous in 1991, he planted his flag at the top of a new pop music decade. Jackson came out hard, with the record's debut single Black or White going on to become the best-selling single of 1992. And the solid grooves didn't stop there. He followed it up with a number of outstanding tracks, from Remember the Time to Jam featuring a rap break by none other than Heavy D. While the album was generally well received at the time, in the decades since, it has only seen an increase in its critical and popular appreciation. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.